There is a place in you that has been holding on for a long time, quietly, without complaint. Not because it wanted to, but because it learned that holding felt like protection, felt like restraint against something it was afraid to let happen, afraid to let arrive. Tonight that place gets to soften, gets to finally, gently come alive. I used to think releasing resistance meant a battle, meant pushing hard against a wall, meant forcing something stubborn to finally break, to finally fall. But the resistance was never an enemy. It was only a part of me trying to stay safe. Tonight I don't fight it, I simply let it soften, I simply give it space. The resistance is not against you. It was only ever trying to protect you, the only way it knew how. I feel it in my shoulders sometimes, in my jaw, in the quiet clench I carry through the day. A bracing against wanting too much, against hoping into open a way. And tonight I simply notice it, without judgment, without needing it to be different or gone. The resistance softens easiest when it finally feels safe enough to lay itself down. I release the resistance, I release the resistance. I allow my wealth to arrive. This is not about forcing myself into a feeling of total ease all at once tonight. It is about letting the resistance loosen its grip just slightly, just enough for the light of what I actually want to reach the places that have been closed for so long. The resistance softens now, gently, and nothing here has to be forced, nothing has to be strong. Let your breath find the tight places. You don't have to release it all at once. I think of every year I spent bracing against disappointment before it even arrived, protecting myself from a hurt that hadn't happened yet, and how that kept me deprived of the ease I was actually allowed to feel, the openness I was always allowed to hold. Tonight the resistance softens, and I let myself feel warmer instead of cold. There is no rush to this softening, no deadline for how quickly the grip must release. Only the quiet, patient permission to let whatever is ready find its peace. Tonight in this exact unhurried moment, without needing to understand it all, the resistance softens gently, and I don't have to catch myself if I begin to fall into something easier, something more open than I've allowed myself to feel in a long while. The resistance was only ever protecting me in its own imperfect, well-meaning style. And tonight I thank it gently, and I let it finally softly rest. The resistance softens now, and I release, and I am blessed. I feel the softening happening in a place words can barely reach tonight, somewhere beneath thought, somewhere the body simply knows how to release what the mind has quietly fought to keep in place, out of habit, out of an old well-meaning need to feel in control. The resistance softens now, feel safe enough to let go. I release the resistance. A fist does not need to be pried open. It only needs to feel safe enough to rest. I release the resistance. I release the resistance. I allow my wealth to arrive gently, without a fight. I used to think I had to identify every single block before I could let it go. Used to search for the exact reason, the exact wound, the exact why and how and so, before I gave myself permission to simply release what no longer needed to stay. Today I release the resistance without needing to understand it first, without delay. I release the resistance. I release the resistance. I allow my wealth to arrive gently, without a fight. I feel my whole body exhale a little more with every repetition of this simple line. Not because the words are magic, but because they are permission, they are a sign to myself that I don't have to keep holding on so tightly to what was never mine to carry. I release the resistance now, and the release itself is not scary. Releasing is not the same as losing control. It is simply choosing ease over bracing. I release the resistance. I release the resistance. I allow my wealth to arrive softly in its own quiet time. This is not a dramatic unraveling, not a breakdown, not a crisis in the night. It is simply a quiet, ongoing choosing of relief over fight. Again and again, every time the old bracing tries to reassert its familiar hold, I release the resistance gently, and I let myself feel warm instead of cold. I let this hook become the thing I return to whenever I notice myself tightening again. A soft, reliable reminder that I don't have to carry the old tension, that releasing is always available to me in this breath, in this moment right now. I release the resistance. I release the resistance, and I allow. Let the hook live in your breath quietly. I release the resistance. I open to releasing through sheer willpower alone. Gritting my teeth, demanding my own resistance to simply be gone. And how that approach only tightened the grip further, only made the holding worse. I release the resistance now, gently, and gentleness is the only cure, the only verse. I am not waiting for the resistance to fully disappear before I let myself feel some relief tonight. I let the releasing be partial, be gradual, be exactly as much as feels right in this exact moment, trusting that each small release adds up to something whole. I release the resistance, I release the resistance. One gentle layer, one gentle roll. I let my breath be the thing that carries the releasing, slow and steady, in and out. Not holding my breath the way I used to hold everything else, not gripped by doubt, but simply breathing, simply allowing, simply trusting the exhale to do its quiet work. I release the resistance, I release the resistance. And relief is not something I have to shirk. You were never meant to hold this so tightly. Let it go gently and let the wealth arrive. You do not have to defeat the resistance. You only have to stop needing it to protect you. There are things I have been holding for so long that I forgot they were even in my hands. Old beliefs about money, old fears passed down like inherited lands. I never chose to own. Old bracing I mistook for wisdom, for caution, for being wise. Tonight I notice what I no longer need to hold, and I let it fall without disguise. I no longer hold the belief that wanting more makes me somehow less spiritual, less good. I no longer hold the fear that ease means I haven't struggled enough, haven't stood through enough hardship to deserve what is arriving gently without a fight. I no longer hold these things, and my hands feel lighter tonight. Notice what you are still carrying out of habit. You are allowed to simply set it down. I no longer hold the old story that money is scarce, that there is only so much to go around. I no longer hold the bracing in my body every time abundance comes near, every sound good news that used to make me flinch instead of celebrate, instead of receive. I no longer hold these things, and it is safe now, finally, to simply believe. I release the resistance. To be easier than they were for the people before me. I no longer hold struggle is the only proof of an honest journey. I no longer hold my own worth hostage to how hard I had to work to finally receive. I no longer hold these things, and I let my open hands simply breathe. You are not throwing anything away. You are simply opening your hands and letting what does not serve you fall. I no longer hold the tension of needing to control exactly how the wealth will arrive. I no longer hold the exhausting habit of staying hyper alert, staying hyper vigilant just to survive. Instead of actually living, actually trusting, actually letting myself rest, I no longer hold these things, and this releasing feels like being blessed. I no longer hold every old disappointment as proof that good things don't actually come to me. I no longer hold the bracing for the other shoe to drop, the quiet, tired decree that ease is temporary, that abundance always eventually leaves. I no longer hold these things, and my open hands finally receive. So let this be the releasing, not dramatic, not sudden, just true, one thing at a time. The old beliefs, the old bracing, the old stories no longer mine, to carry forward into whatever comes next, into whatever I am becoming, into whatever I choose. I no longer hold these things, and there is nothing here to lose. I no longer hold the belief that I have to figure out every block before I can move forward at all. I no longer hold the pressure of perfect understanding before I let something old fall away, dissolve, release, simply because it is ready, simply because I am ready to. I no longer hold these things, and my open hands know exactly what to do. What you no longer hold does not disappear into nothing. It simply stops taking up the space where your abundance was trying to arrive. I release the resistance. I no longer hold it. An open hand does not lose anything by opening. It only makes room for what was always trying to land. Go deeper now, into the place where the block has been quietly living, unnoticed, unnamed. Not to fight it, not to force it out, but simply to let it feel seen, to let it feel claimed, as something that can finally, safely dissolve, now that it no longer needs to hold its shape. I release the resistance now, deep activation. The block finding its own escape. I am not asking you to dramatically confront this block tonight, only to let it soften, The way ice softens in warmth, not through force, not through struggle, but often simply through the presence of something gentle, something patient, something warm nearby. I release the resistance now, deep activation, and I don't have to know why. I release the resistance, I allow my wealth to arrive. I release the resistance gently, without a fight. Deeper now. Let the block feel how safe it is to dissolve. I release the resistance. I think of every place in my body where I have been holding tension around money for years. In my chest, in my stomach, in the quiet, familiar clenching that appears whenever the subject comes up, whenever I have to look directly at a number, a bill, a want. I release the resistance now, deep activation, letting the old tension finally undaunt itself from my body, releasing gently, layer by layer, the way morning mist releases from a field, not disappearing violently, just softening, just slowly beginning to yield to the warmth of the sun, to the warmth of this permission, to the warmth of simply letting be. I release the resistance now, deep activation, and I finally fully feel free. I release the resistance, I allow my wealth to arrive. I release the resistance, softly in its own quiet time. Let it dissolve gently, without any force at all. The block was only ever tension, and tension always eventually softens. I feel the activation moving through every place I have been unconsciously bracing for years, dissolving the old protective tension, dissolving the quiet familiar fears that kept my hands closed, kept my body braced, kept my wealth at arm's length, always delayed. I release the resistance now, deep activation, and I am no longer afraid. So let this deep activation settle into every cell before we close tonight. Not through force, not through struggle, but through the soft, patient light of finally being allowed to release what was never actually serving you at all. I release the resistance, deep activation, and I let it fall. I let this activation move at exactly the pace that feels safe for my own nervous system tonight. No rushing, no forcing a dissolution before it is actually ready, before it feels right. Trusting that whatever pace this unfolds at is the correct pace, is the safe pace, is enough. I release the resistance now, deep activation, gentle instead of rough. Let the activation settle now, layer by layer, gentle and slow. I release the resistance. You do not have to do anything more. The block already knows how to dissolve, already knows the way. I release the resistance, and I allow my wealth to arrive today. Ice does not need to be shattered to melt. It only needs enough warmth and enough time. And enough time. We are coming to the end of this release now. Slowly, gently. the resistance quieter than before. Let everything that softened in you tonight remain. Let it not need to fight its way back through the door of the old bracing, the old holding, the old tension that used to feel so familiar, so known. There is space now, space for wealth, space that is finally, fully your own. I have space for wealth now. I understand that now. After releasing what I no longer needed to hold. This is not a temporary lightness I borrowed and must give back. This is space unfolding gently inside me, roomy and warm. No longer crowded with old protective bracing. I have space for wealth, and I no longer need to keep chasing. I release the resistance. I allow my wealth to arrive. I release the resistance. There is space now, gently. You did not build this space by trying harder. You built it by finally, gently letting go. What I could have simply allowed to arrive on its own in its own gentle, unforced time. I carry the spaciousness with me now, beyond this quiet, sacred rhyme, into my ordinary day, into my simple, unclenched life. I have space for wealth, and I release the old, familiar strife. This is not the end of the releasing, only the end of this particular quiet hour. The space continues on its own now, quietly gathering its own gentle power to hold whatever arrives next without bracing, without the old tired fight. I have space for wealth, and I release the resistance softly into the night. I have space for wealth, I release the resistance. The tension is dissolving, and what remains is simply room for what was always trying to arrive. I take the spaciousness with me into my kitchen, my commute, my ordinary tasks, into the moments no one is watching, where the truest releasing simply basks in being itself, without performance, without needing anyone's applause. I have space for wealth, I release the resistance. This is the gentlest law. Carry the space gently. You do not have to fill it quickly. You only have to let it remain open. Thank you for this release. Thank you for this quiet, spacious room inside me now. Thank you for the resistance that finally softened enough to allow the wealth to find its way without a fight, without the old tired bracing. I have space for wealth, and I release the resistance, gently facing. I am not the same as I was before this releasing, before this softening, before this space. And I do not need to keep proving that difference. Do not need to chase evidence that something has shifted. I simply know it quietly. In my own unclenched chest, I have space for wealth, and I release the resistance, and I finally rest. Whatever arrives next, with open hands instead of closed fists, with ease instead of strain, carried now into your ordinary life, your simple, spacious domain. To allow, to receive, to let the wealth finally gently arrive. I have space for wealth, and I release the resistance, and I am alive. You do not have to build the room. You only have to stop filling it with what was never yours to carry.